All right, so we are on part 2 of building the table, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We are aging the pipes. So right now we're on our way to get pipes, get all of the things that we need to make the pipes become legs of a table.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. This part of the process is pretty simple. It might also be the most dangerous.
Safety is very important.
Yeah. Okay, so these are pre-made 10-inch ones. You can find these along with many other inch widths, so whatever you need for your coffee table, whatever. And then we've got all of these, which go on the underside of the table like this, and then this pipe screws into it, and that's what attaches the legs. And then we've got our corners. So our corners are going to be doing this. This goes along the bottom, right? And then this pipe that we're about to cut attaches upward.
Nice.
Alright, so this is everything that we need. We had a successful trip to the Depot of Home Goods. We have our 4 pipes that are going to be the legs, and then these 2 bits that are going to be along the floor. And we have everything that we need to do the rusting process, which is what we are going to do now. So the hardest part about this was figuring out how to put these in the acid, because galvanized pipe has a zinc coating on it that you need to get off before you can like accurately rust it. So what you need to do is get muriatic acid. We got one that says safer muriatic acid. I don't know what that means because the smell of it is still like, this is gonna kill us. So still have your safety gear, wear a mask, wear gloves for sure. But anything that you're going to be soaking the stuff in the acid in has to be made out of plastic because it eats through metal. And make sure your gloves are plastic. Make sure everything that you're putting acid in is plastic. Just be safe. Be very, very safe because this stuff cannot touch your skin. It cannot get in your eyes. You don't want to be breathing it.
Yep.
So just make sure that you have like a plastic bucket or PVC pipe, which is what we decided to do so that we could reuse the acid over and over again. We put a cap on top. This was his idea, actually. I'll let you explain it because because you had this great idea.
Because I didn't want to do these in my bathtub. I thought maybe we could get some PVC pipe, put some caps on the top and bottom, fill it with acid, and then put the pipes inside and let them soak that way. That way you're only using maybe this much acid and you don't have to waste a bunch and you can reuse it. It's friendly to the environment.
Baking soda neutralizes the acid. So once it's been soaking in the acid for an hour, 2 hours, however long you think it needs, we've been doing it for 2 hours, but you can do it for an hour. Once it is taken out, you want to wet down the whole thing, get as much of the acid off as you can with just water, and then scrub baking soda all over it because it neutralizes the acid, and then wash it down one more time. So that's the process. That's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna wind up with some sick rusty pipes.
Yeah.
But this part will just take off that zinc coating, which is very important because galvanized pipes have the zinc coating so that they don't rust, which is why people love them so much and use them in their houses so that you don't ever have to replace your pipes. But we want them to look dirty. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go outside because this would be horrible to do inside. So first things first, we don't want these containers filled with acid falling over, so I'm going to tie them using chicken wire to this fence. Or there's actually not chicken wire, I think it's called baling wire. And then, to make the pipe easier to take out, go ahead and thread this. Thread this through the pipe. And then you make yourself like a little hook to hold on to, so that when you pull it out of the solution, you can just grab the little hook and you don't have to get acid all over your hands. So when you do these, you also want to be careful because once the reaction starts, it's gonna go blah, 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 and kind of fizzle. You pour that in there like that. Oh man, can you smell that, Schmidt? Don't vomit. The smell is something like, how would you describe this? Like,
it's like a sulfur smell.
Rotten egg?
Yeah.
It's like a really bad fart. Like the kind that makes your eyes burn. Whoa, look at that. You see that, Schmidt? Watch out for the vapors. Okay, you probably want to get out of there, Schmidt.
So now we're gonna let the pipes sit for 2 hours. We can check on these smaller bits in an hour since they're much smaller, and we'll rotate pieces out until we get everything done. What should we do in the meantime? Ice cream?
Can we get ice cream?
Yeah, let's get ice cream.
Yeah, let's get ice cream.
Sick.
So we let these sit for about an hour and take off the galvanization. It looks pretty good. Look at that. Even the baking soda right there. Not really too many fumes when it's not reacting. So I'm washing these in the sink. Luckily the acid's already been neutralized by the baking soda, so we don't have to worry too much about this being like particularly toxic. If I were smarter, I would tell you that the baking soda and the acid, what they react and become, but I don't know what that is, so I'll dub it in later.
So it's kind of hard to tell because just the pipe being wet makes it darker, but so this is what it looks like after you've taken off all of that zinc coating, and eventually it's going to look more like this, which is pretty dope. I love this orange color. I think that it matches the way that the wood looks when it's burnt really, really well. So it's gonna be really exciting to see this turn into this, and with household thingies, which is gonna be great. All you need is
the secret sauce.
Salt and vinegar.
You gave away the secret.
I'm sorry.
All right, well there you go.
Now it's our secret, right? We're closer now.
Oh man. The recipe is 1 part vinegar to 1 part water, and then add salt to taste.
I'll put in up to the 200. Add salt to taste. I guess it can't kill you, right?
Yeah, no, you don't actually taste it.
No, 1 part. Oops, God.
1 part water, and then add just a ton of salt. Yeah.
I'm gonna put this thing on there.
And you're good to rust some pipes.
Oh, sick. Ah! 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 Okay, no. Let's move on.
Let's spray these guys. Just lightly missed it. That's fine. Just go crazy.
I was gonna say lightly missed it. That's not how we operate. Woo! Spray everything! Oh.
Except that guy.
Yeah!
Okay, well, so I'm gonna clean up out there, and then maybe we'll go get tacos.
Sure.
And then we'll come back and we'll finish this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Tacos. $10, 10 tacos. I'll buy 10 tacos. All right, thank you.
So it's actually like a couple of days later. I don't know if you can tell from my costume change, but we had some issues with the pipes. There were some pipes that we did with completely fresh acid, and there are some pipes, as we said, where we reused the acid. And we have learned through this process, don't reuse the acid because it really does lose its ability to take away that zinc coating, because the acid plus the zinc turns into something completely different. So it loses its effectiveness for sure. So there were a few things where we went back, we used fresh acid, and then we sprayed them down again. And like the first couple of pipes, it only took like an hour or two for the rest to set in, but for these ones it took a lot longer because we decided to try and reuse that acid. So don't make our mistake. We're making all the mistakes for you. But now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna seal them, because when you touch these, you get rust all over your hands. I don't know if you can tell, it's dark out here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a lot of yellowing all over my glove because the rust is scraping all over the glove. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna seal it. That's gonna keep it from rusting any further, and it's also going to make it so that you don't get rust on your hands and you can actually use it as part of your furniture. So let's do it. Come on, dog. So when we went to the Depot of Home Stuff, I told the guy what we were doing and he was super confused why we would want to do this, but eventually told me to use this Rust-Oleum, which I kind of expected he was going to say Rust-Oleum, but it's matte clear, seals, protects, and revitalizes, and it works on wood, metal, plastic, all the stuff that Rust-Oleum typically works on. So if you can find this, we're going to try this out. This should work, and let's do it. We've got a bunch of stuff to spray. With most stuff like this, it's going to look like it's not clear, and then it'll dry clear. So that's what I'm hoping for with this. I'm pretty sure that once that dries, it'll be clear and we'll still be able to see the cool rust color underneath, so. We did it. So they're all sprayed. We'll leave them outside and let them set. I think the only ones that we might have to do a little extra on are these, just because like we will see this inside edge on the table, and that bottom inside edge is still, you know, it's still on top of the cardboard, so I'll look at those. I'll see whether or not I think that it needs it, but maybe not. It's on the floor, so whatever, right?
Right.
Oh, all of our pipes are in. We finished them. This wound up being the weirdest, like, it turned into just a chemistry lesson.
Yeah.
That we didn't expect. It was like, no, you know, you just like, you oxidize it. You know, you just oxidize it, easy.
Add oxygen.
Yeah,
to
it'll be fine. And then we wound up having to learn about the acid, how to be safe with the acid, whether or not there was a way to neutralize the acid, and once you neutralize the acid, can you pour it down the drain? And which, by the way, you can. And just so many things.
Toxic gases.
Toxic gases. What to be careful of. Yeah, zinc coatings on galvanized pipe is actually like very dangerous to breathe in, so don't breathe it in.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
Great.
This was by far like the most dangerous part. The deadliest part of the table.
Yeah.
But Aaron, what did you learn?
Always use fresh acid.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what else did we learn? Oh, so when you're, it's not the acid that's gonna oxidize the pipes though, as we learned. You need vinegar and salt.
Yeah.
To create that rusty look. And then you just spray it on. Earlier we had thought maybe the acid would just age the pipe, but it didn't.
Yeah, and I also like that the first pipes that we did, we had them just laying down, right? And you sprayed them and then flipped them and then sprayed them. I really like these. We had a long conversation about how our aesthetics are a little bit different about like what we expected from this. Because I was like, man, these are so much cooler, because they wound up with like this drippy kind of uneven look to them with all these different colors, and I was like, man, these are sick, they're so good.
Yeah,
but
and I was kind of like, oh, these are really uneven.
Yeah, these look kind of weird, they don't look right, you know? But I feel like they look more naturally destroyed.
Yeah, they look like legitimately aged pipes, like naturally aged.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones look like, they look kind of like somebody's like, hey, let's just paint these with rust, and you know.
Which, by the way, if you wanted to skip all of this, you can totally do that. Rust-Oleum has like a rust paint that has a texture to it that you can totally spray on this if you wanted to do that. We just wanted to challenge ourselves and see if we could legitimately rust it. And I'm proud. I'm proud of the outcome. So if you want to follow what we did, be safe, follow all of our hints.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Wear protection.
Wear protection. Always have lots of safety gear.
And your lungs.
Yeah. And your heart.
Oh yeah, and your heart.
Always protect your heart. Let's go finish the top of the table.
All right.
Bye guys.